Hi everyone, this is Lomi, and today I'm sharing a tutorial for making a Plague Doctor mask for dolls. This would have been great before Halloween, but I didn't think of it until my husband made one for me. He made the pattern, and was kind enough to convert it to 1/3 scale so I could share it with you. The pattern's available on my website, linked in the description below. So, once you've got your pattern pieces, you'll need a sheet of craft foam. This is left over from my mask. Trace the pattern pieces onto the foam with a pencil. You'll need one top and bottom, 2 sides, and 2 eye rings. You'll also need some strips to make the mask's straps. You can just draw these with a ruler. I make mine 1/2 inch wide, but you can adjust the width according to what you like. Once all your pieces are drawn out, cut them out using scissors or a craft knife. Oop, no, I should be cutting away from myself. I find a craft knife easier for curved pieces and scissors for straight pieces. For the mask size, I'm using a piece of black chiffon. I attached this to the foam with khaki craft glue, which is just a thick PVA glue. You could also use colored plastic film or even the lenses from cheap sunglasses. I'll put these aside to dry, then it's time to sew the mask. Start with the bottom and one side. I want the pencil marks on the inside, so I have to figure out which is the right side first. Then, using a needle and regular thread, I stitch the pieces together. I'm not too concerned with making any of my stitches uniform or even, because I think the mask is spookier when it looks a little rough. When sewing through foam, you have to be careful not to pull your stitches too tight, or it could tear the foam. It's also harder to knot the thread, as you usually have to knot it onto itself to prevent tearing. If your foam does tear, though, you can always glue it back together. Sew both sides of the mask to the bottom. Assembling the pieces in this order is the easiest. Once both sides are sewn to the bottom, bring the top edge of the 2 sides together and use a whip stitch to sew them together. When the beak is closed, it's time to attach the forehead of the mask. Sew the center of this piece first. The whip stitch on the mask's beak will let it flex open at the top and fit nicely against the bridge. Then sew the sides. Once both sides are closed, trim the extra cloth or plastic from your eyepieces. We'll glue these to the mask first, holding them in place with clothespins to make sure they stay where we want them. The wider part of the ring goes toward the back, but if you like it better the other way, that's fine too. While the glue is drying, we can go ahead and attach the straps. Instead of sewing them on, I'm using these scrapbooking brads. Put the strap against the inside of the mask and push the brad through both layers of foam. Fold the brad open on the inside. Once the glue is dry, I remove the clothespins and sew down the outer edge of the eye rings. Now it's time for a fitting. This is much easier if your doll's head is on their body, but I couldn't quite get her on camera that way. Put the doll's mask against their face and fit the straps around their head. I lay down the top strap first, then cross the side straps over the top of it. I fold the side straps back to make a crease marking the length I want. Then I fold the top strap up to create a loop. Make sure you leave space above the side straps so they'll fit through the loop easily. Make sure they're wearing the wig you want to use with their mask, or the straps could end up too small to fit around the wig. Cut off the extra length of the straps, then run a brad through the top strap to hold the loop closed. Double check the fit before you finish the side straps. I mark where the ends of my straps fall when the mask is on my doll. Then I add sticky backed Velcro for closures on the end of both straps. This is industrial strength Velcro, so it's kind of hard to get the plastic off, but it should really stay put on the mask. If you like it this way, then your mask is done, but I'm going to do one more thing to mine. I squeezed some brown acrylic paint into some water. I'll apply it with this foam sponge, which I made bumpy by tearing pieces out of it with a pair of tweezers. I mix the paint just a little. I don't want it to be too consistent. Then I'll sponge the paint onto the mask. This is going to look awful at first, but stick with it. As you layer it on, it'll look better and better. Make sure you get the straps too. If you don't like the way the paint looks over the brads, you can wipe it off the metal pretty easily. As the layers of paint blend together, you get a nice, natural texture that makes it look a lot more like real leather. Once the paint dries, it's finished. Here's the end result. For added realism, you can always stuff some dried lavender inside the mask. I figure since Laylee's an alchemist, she probably has that on hand anyway. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure you subscribe so you won't miss any of my future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.